You guys have been asking to see them for years, so today is the day that I finally show you my action figures! Hey y'all, SnarkyJay cosplay here. Yes, I know the studio is looking a little bit different, but that's because there's a method to my madness, usually. You know how every year people make huge changes to their lives, to their hair, to their diets, and then they go, oh my god, new year, new me, and everybody's saying new year, new me, and it kind of gets annoying because everybody is basically new year, same asshole, gym membership expired. I know because I've been there. So my whole thing is, instead of doing new year, new me, because I know it's gonna be new year, same asshole, same SnarkyJay, then what I'm doing is, I'm not waiting until the new year. I've gone ahead and rearranged my studio. So I figured instead of answering individual comments about why the studio looks different, I thought, why not just make a video and finally do the room tour that people have been asking for literal years. So let's jump right into it. So this is the room in what I like to call cozy mode, which basically means that I don't have either the big overhead light or my lighting for the videos on. It's honestly not a particularly big space. I think everybody thinks it's a lot bigger than it is because of the way that it looks on camera, but it's really kind of a small room. I've just made the best of it. For the more important purpose of this room, I sit right here. That is my stool, and there's Torgal. Basically, everything I need to shoot with is on one stand. I've got this big light that kind of goes over my head. This is the ballast for that light. My camera is right here. It's a Sony a6600, and I use this monitor to kind of cross-reference things and make sure that everything is looking good. Also hardwired in over my head is my hair light, just to get a little more separation from the background. But honestly, the thing I get asked about the most in here are actually all the figures, so I'm gonna walk you through some of the really cool ones. This is the bookshelf directly behind me, featuring some of my favorite Lego builds, my YouTube play button, of course. These two figurines were actually gifts, and this guy I bought probably 15 years ago, but I love because he does this. Moving on, we have the Bat Cat shelf, which admittedly is way more cat than bat, but you guys know I love her. Down here is my dad's least favorite shelf because he says this looks like a shrine. Most of these have actually been gifts from people at conventions or through my P.O. box, and I absolutely love everybody on this shelf. Admittedly, the bottom shelf is kind of my miscellaneous shelf. You've got Wonder Woman, X-23, Sephiroth, a little more Bat Cat action, all my little Optimus Primes, and one Bumblebee. On top of the curio cornering me is my Batwing. This was one of my favorite Lego builds of all time. It's probably one of the more complex ones I've ever done, but I just think it looks so great pretty much at every angle. Right below that, we have two of the most iconic superheroes in DC history, Batman and Superman. And under that, we have my Optimus Prime shelf. I love Optimus Prime, so to me it's super important to have him really focused on in this shelf. I also have another The Crow shelf, which I know is a little bit obsessive at this point, but who would I be if I wasn't obsessive? Little fun fact, every time I have to pose this guy back here, I feel like I have to ask him permission because he looks a little bit too realistic. And on the bottom shelf, we have characters from three of my favorite game series of all time. McCree from when Overwatch was good, Fury from Darksiders, admittedly my least favorite horseman, but such a beautiful design on her. And then I got this guy from Wish. He's not the real one, but I still love him, Gladio from Final Fantasy 15. Now, of course, this is the wall directly behind me, and I pretty much have either filled it with art that I really like graphically or things that just mean something to me. And the two things that I really want to highlight here are these two. I had the opportunity of meeting James Arnold Taylor back in Dallas, and he was so sweet and so kind. I'm a big Ratchet & Clank fan, and this was actually a gift from a good friend. It's signed by the voice actor for Clive Rosfield from Final Fantasy 16, Ben Starr. And when I tell you it means the world to me to get autographs from voice actors that I admire, I mean it literally means the world to me. So it's nice to be able to display them. But I know for a fact you guys don't want to hear me talk about art. You guys want to talk about these three big ones on the shelf behind me. This beast is the Robosen Optimus Prime. He is absolutely massive, and he does come with an app and does all sorts of cool stuff. He talks, he walks, he makes all kinds of sound effects, but honestly, I think he's just such a beautiful rendition of Optimus Prime's design from the Bumblebee and Rise of the Beasts films that he is just 100% worth having behind me. Admittedly, I don't know what brand this Boba Fett is, but he is in fact the Return of the Jedi design. Kind of hard to tell the colors based on this lighting, but it is that color scheme for him. He is huge and his clothes are actually fabric. These tubes move around, his jetpack unlatches, and if I want to play with his rangefinder, I can. I just think he's so gorgeous, and he's the only Boba Fett left in my collection. Now this beast is War from Darksiders, as made by First 4 Figures. This thing weighs easily 15 pounds. There's actual metal in the chains here. There's actual fabric on his outfit. I've turned off the other lights so you can see his paint job better. He is absolutely stunning, and if you haven't played the Darksiders series, I really recommend them. Quick glance at some of these Legos below. We have the baby Millennium Falcon, the X-Men Mansion, a lot of fun building this one. This is the Chogokin limited edition Lightning McQueen, the Lego Technic Batmobile, the Lego Technic Mustang. This is my favorite car of all time, the 1977 Firebird Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit. And we also have the Ford GT, followed by this random Batman because I didn't know where else to put him. One of the other questions I get asked the most on this channel are about that guitar, and it's always, Jay, how long have you played guitar? Jay, when can we hear you shred? Never. I don't actually play guitar. Hi, Torgal. See, the thing about me playing guitar is that I always wanted to learn, and if you haven't been on this channel very long, I've said a few times, I was in choir as a kid, and I played tenor sax for 7 years. I was band captain, all that good stuff that made me very popular in high school. However, I always wanted to learn to play the guitar. So during COVID, like everybody else, I said, I'm gonna learn to play this instrument. I'm gonna get a guitar. I learned a few chords, and it took me about 2 months to realize that I really hate keeping my nails super short unless I'm crafting something or organizing a room, and I didn't want to keep cutting them. I don't have the rock hard nails of a Spanish guitarist to keep my nails long to pluck the strings with. It was just not working. So admittedly, I gave up entirely on the guitar. I really did, but I have the guitar and I think it's a nice decoration, so there it is. Moving on from my guitar-shaped disappointments, I know some people are gonna ask about the Ford Mustang signs. I love Mustangs and I'm a little bit of a gearhead, so. I also have this gorgeous Final Fantasy tapestry, and this crow poster has been with me since 2013. One of my favorite things about this room is the edge of this. I basically keep photos from every photo op I've ever done. That's me with the voice actresses for Aerith, Yuffie, and Tifa from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake. This is Roger Clark and Rob Wiedoff, who play Arthur Morgan and John Marston in Red Dead 1 and 2. Then we have none other than Hayden Christensen, who is Anakin Skywalker, and yes, this was during COVID time, so we had a wall between us. Tom Welling, who is my favorite Clark Kent from Smallville, and of course we have Ashley Eckstein, who voices Ahsoka. She also started the Her Universe line. And my good friend, the official fandom menace, was too kind and allowed me into this photo op. He is an absolute joy. You should definitely check him out. We also have my super legit Kit Kat clock, which is not only one of my favorite things in here, but also one of the noisiest besides me. I know we have to talk about the ugly little flamingo, and I'm really sorry about him, but we're just gonna... I bought this at the Dollar Tree like 8 years ago, and my mom hates him so much. She thinks he's so ugly. She's the reason why his head is chipped, because she dropped him by mistake. I think she was trying to get rid of him, but he's more resilient. He is above us all. I just really dig him. So he's just always up here. He watches me work. He crosses his little peats like a gentleman, and he makes me happy. The Catwoman and Rogue Prince were both gifts at Ocala Comic Con, and that in the middle, I know it's super obnoxious, but it was left over from my first and only time guesting at MegaCon, and it was too important to get rid of. I know, I'm sorry about these. I have a weird soft spot for anatomically incorrect animal skeletons that are Halloween decorations. I can't get rid of them. Over here is pretty simple. We've got my Red Dead poster, which was a gift from a good friend, my Route 66 sign, and another convention sign. I know that seems really obnoxious at this point, but the whole point of why I have it on there is because this is the first time a convention booked me as a YouTuber and not just a cosplayer. So it really meant the world to me to be recognized as more than just I throw on costumes. I know I'll probably get some questions about this guy on the wall. There's one behind the Mustang banner you guys saw earlier, and this is basically a sound panel. Since I speak kind of into this corner, this just softens any echo that the room could still have. Now that's it for the whole studio and figurine aspect for things, but I also use this room as my craft room. So this big shelving unit is basically filled to the brim with craft supplies. Yeah, there's books and stuff, educational and all sorts of things there, but I also keep paints and sewing notions, and literally anything that's ever gone into a cosplay is either in one of those cubbies or located in this big tub of foam and warbler and basically just raw materials that I need. I do have little decorations here and there, and my obnoxious Lightning McQueen collection is with my equally obnoxious trophies from conventions. I also have this little light up guy that I just like to keep around, and one of the more important things that I don't really know if this is worth showing, but I keep this here. Most of you wouldn't know, but in one of my Optimus Prime build videos, I talked about my cat that passed away, and since she was with me for basically 12 years. 12 years that saw the entirety of me cosplaying, and that cat was next to me for every single build I ever made up until Optimus Prime, and she passed away about a week into constructing that, and she's the only reason why the build was finished as quickly as it was, and I think to the detailed extent that it was. I can't have her by me anymore, but she is there in spirit. That's a picture of us together. And I know that seems a little macabre, but I thought she deserved a proper memorial, so that's Boo Boo's Corner. This here is my work desk. It's simple enough. I have a big mat with measurements that goes on top of it that I'm currently trying to wipe marker off of. Here I have outlets for pretty much anything and everything I could ever need to plug in. My little desk lamp moves around for more detailed stuff. And I got this neat little IKEA cart that keeps all of my crafting materials and tools readily available for me. Anything to do with markers, knives, measuring tapes, duct tape, pretty much anything I could need is right on the top one. My tools go down here, so I have a heat knife, I have a Dremel stylo, I have my heat gun, and I also have protective eyewear. Please wear your protective eyewear. And my handy dandy gloves to protect my hands. And down here, I pretty much put miscellaneous stuff like Velcro buckles and straps and stuff like that. And not that I ever need these. Cool kids wear protective gear. I unfortunately am not one of the cool kids. That's why I was band captain, and that's why I keep the band-aids around, because I never wear the protective gear, and that's why my fingers are one giant callus. But yeah, folks, this is pretty much the whole room. You guys only ever see that corner of it, and obviously it looks different than it did before because we have made some pretty fun changes with it, but this is the whole thing. This is where I spend probably 95% of my time. So that was your SnarkyJay studio / room tour. I know for some of you this might have been a cool video, and for others you might be wondering why you spent however long this video turns out to be watching me describe action figures and posters around my room. But hey, to me it's important to show you guys where I work and what is really around me. I get so many questions on the figures behind me, so many questions about how I do what I do, that I thought, why not, now that we've changed things up, show you guys a little bit more behind the scenes, show you how the sausage is made, so to speak. And every time I say that, I really don't like that phrase. I have to think about something else to say. But anyways, if you stayed this long, thank you so much for checking this out. I hope you like the new studio setup as much as I do. I just think it's a cleaner, cozier, twinklier, more fun vibe. I don't know, it feels like we're really kind of hanging out, and that's the vibe that I like to create for this channel. So I hope you like it as much as I do, and that's all from me. I've been SnarkyJay. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. For more SnarkyJay, be sure to check me out on Instagram, and if you'd like to support me, this channel, and my content creation, do check out and consider subscribing to my Patreon for exclusive photo shoot sets and cosplay content. I'll add links to all of those in the description below, and let me know your favorite part of this whole studio tour in the comments below.